Can Medicaid take your home if your spouse is living in there? Yes, but they're not going to just go take it from your spouse. They're going to go a different route. And so what's going to happen is you go into long-term care, you start using Medicaid, you start racking up the debts that you owe to Medicaid for the help that they give you. You pass away. They're going to come to your estate that's going through the probate process and tell your executor, hey, this individual owes us this much money for the help that we gave them while they were in the long-term care. And then your executor will have to sell off assets inside of your estate to pay back those debts that you owe to Medicaid. Now, if you have a home inside of your estate that your surviving spouse is living in, they will not just force the executor to sell that property to pay those debts off. They're going to put a lien on that property, and then when your spouse either sells that property or they pass away and it gets sold, that equity inside that house will have to go towards paying off the debts owed to Medicaid. So they're still going to get the equity out of the property, and then when the property is sold, they won't force your surviving spouse to move out of the property though. So if you want to protect your assets from Medicaid, you have to fully separate yourself from them as an individual. One of the ways that you can do that is with an irrevocable trust. When you set up an irrevocable trust, you have to put your assets inside of the irrevocable trust 5 years before you apply for Medicaid. So it's one of those things where you have to start planning ahead. You can't do it when you are needing the long-term care, because at that point, it will not protect those assets from Medicaid coming back and taking those assets later on, because you're within that 5-year look-back period. If you want help setting any of this up, click the link in the bio, fill out the form, and schedule a time to talk to someone on our team.